Hello everybody, and today we are going to be installing a Pertronix Ignitor and Flame Thrower Coil on my 1964 CJ5 with a Ford 302 in it. So we'll get a little bit into the details of that right about now. Alright, so I have a 1964 Ford 302 inside my CJ5. I did a hone job on it and a couple of little things on it to get it back up to spec. It was really low in compression at one point, especially in cylinders 7 and 8. So we did a honing job on it, and that's really about it. Cleaned up the heads. New head gaskets, full seal kit pretty much on it, and it's running pretty good. I really have not too many complaints on it. The fuel tank in it is a little bit rusty, so I'm kind of running through a bunch of cycles of fuel to get it cleaned out. Otherwise, not too bad. So I'm going to show you what we have going on with the Pertronix kit. So I have the Pertronix 1281 kit for Ford 302s, and the matching coil, the 40011 Flame Thrower Coil that goes along with it. That's pretty much recommended to kind of change one with the other. And I did this on my 1970 International with a V8, and it would run awesome after it, so I finally broke down and decided to do it, and I don't know, we'll see how it goes. So let's take you underneath the hood and see what I have going on there, and then kind of go through the process of what's inside the kit, and what else? I don't know, that's about it for now. Alright, so here we go. So here's the Ford 302. Everything's pretty much stock in it. Replaced the water pump, all new gaskets there. Did a GM 1-wire alternator from Tough Stuff, I believe it is. Works awesome, really good. Air cleaner, just, a factory Holley on there, 4-valve carburetor. What else do I have on here? Just still running the stock coil from what I believe. And points inside this 302, and that's one of the main reasons for going over to the Pertronix Ignitor, is it ditches the points and replaces it, pretty much converts your distributor, stock distributor, up to an electronic one. Otherwise, custom wiring loom, we could see going into the back here. Right over here, the resistor for my coil. So these coils, they start up on 12 volts, and I believe from what I read on the internet, then they run at 9 volts, which is the case of the resistor right here. So we'll probably be ditching that, replacing the coil right here, opening up our distributor, and replacing the rotor inside there, and points with the igniter kit. So let's take a look at what's inside the igniter kit and coil itself, and then let's get installing it. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. We have the 40011 coil, Flame Thrower Coil from Pertronix to match up with their Ignitor series. Let's take a look and see what we have inside here. There you go. Standard black coil. I believe you can get this also in chrome. I don't know, 1.5 ohms. It's what was recommended to go along with this. What else do we have in here? Probably just directions. Yep. So here's our directions. Should be relatively straightforward. So that's it. We'll go through that. Nothing too crazy there. And let's take a look at the rest of the setup. Igniter 1281 for Ford 302. All right, we have our instructions. Straightforward. And what else do we got here? Little lead, couple of bolts for the coil probably. And then where all the magic happens, right here, this has got a pickup inside to work with our rotor to give us hopefully a nice stronger signal, more consistent, better startups, which my Jeep really doesn't have much problem starting. Starts pretty great, especially all the season long. I guess this is some sort of tool we're going to be using to get everything to line up. Let's run through. Let's install it, see what happens. Okay, so according to the instructions, I'm running 8-cylinder application. I removed the ballast resistor. So all I did is basically cut off the one end, connected them together with that link, and now it's just a matter of removing this one, the old coil. Fairly straightforward. I'm going to remove the wire from the coil to the distributor, and now I'll be removing these right here, popping the old one out, and new one goes in. Okay, 2 off. Out with the old coil right here. Yeah, so if we look, the original coil, right? So 12-volt coil with the with a ballast resistor needed. So no more of that stuff. Flame thrower going in. Leave. Should be good. We're going to leave it loose until we go with the rest of the install so I can make sure everything's lined up the way I need to. All right, I lost some video. I had the remote for the phone inside my pocket, and it basically was turning it on and off, and eventually I deleted it by accident. So I'm going to redo this again for the third time. Life is rough, let me tell you. So let's open up the distributor so I can show you what we have here. So I already went through this. Basically, here's our rotor right here. Distributor cap's off. Here's the new igniter. Underneath the igniter is a little locating pin. It sits into one of the old holes where the points and condenser once was. Snugged in. The system, or Pertronix, gives us a 30 thousandths little feeler gauge that goes inside here between this magnetic sleeve, or magnet sleeve they call it, and the actual unit itself. So now it's set up correctly. Let's put this back on. Okay, this was what was there. So we have condenser and points. You can see it's mechanically operated right there, making point. When it connects, we get a buildup of electricity, and then when it opens, it sends out the spark or something along those lines. Old system right here. So a little bit of mechanical inside that. This goes back on. That, snap. Then the red and black wires run over to here. All right, so we have the one from the ignition, one from the igniter, and the black on this side right over here. Going to that. Coil's tightened up, and that's pretty much it. So now at this point, we'll just kind of reposition a little bit and start the truck and see what happens. We're Jeep. Thanks. All right, so let's just close the hood up here. Give it a shot. So I got it choked a little bit right now. This is a bit warm, a little cold out. I'm going to take it for a little spin. I'll let you know when I go back what happens. So I took it for a ride, and overall pretty awesome. Definitely better acceleration. Starts up, idles great. I don't know what's there. Pulls through all the gears, so definitely a pretty big improvement. So hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, so if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the space below. See you at Science Monkey or Stano Hacks. Later.